Assalamu alaikum. Early on, I'm going to discuss about variable, data type, their syntax, parameters, and examples for Arduino. Variable is a storage location in volatile memory where we gave a name to refer it in which we can store value which can change during execution. There are few data types for Arduino. Out of those, I'm going to talk about some necessary data types. To better understand, I've prepared a table for you. Please have a careful look on it. Data type, keyword, like this is data type and this is keyword. Space text in byte, it takes 1 byte in Arduino. And signed or unsigned number, minimum and maximum. Example. So now I'm going to discuss about character data type. Its keyword is char, all are small, and it takes 1 byte or 8 bits in microcontroller, and range is -128 to 127. For example, letters, numeric, symbols, but for numeric you can use only integer data type. Syntax. This is the keyword of variable, and this is variable name, and this is value. So here we need two parameters, that is variable name and variable value. See carefully. A is in single quotation. For letter, it stored as number. It has been represented as specific text character. This method is called ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. We can also represent it like this. Here 97 means A, lowercase. See, this time I didn't use any quotation. Here is an ASCII table. C, for character A, small a, the value is 97, and 65 is capital A. If we write CHARC equal B plus 32, then C stores as B equal 66. So 66 plus 32 equal 98. 98 represents B. Let's have a look on ASCII table. B. This is it. Those are for single character, and for multiple character you have to write in double quotation like this. This is my variable name and this is the value. See, here I have used double quotation, and as value here is few letters. Data type unsigned character. The keyword is unsigned char. It occupies 1 byte of memory. It encodes number from 0 to 255. After exceeding its maximum value, it rolls back to 0. It can take only integer. For consistency of Arduino programming style, the byte data type is to be preferred. Syntax. This is the keyword, variable name, value. Parameters. Variable name and the value to assign to the variable. Example code, unsigned character. This is my variable name and this is the value. Very simple. byte data type. The keyword is byte. It occupies 1 byte of memory and it encodes number from 0 to 255. After exceeding its maximum value, it roll back to 0, and it can take only integer, just like unsigned character. Bytes, syntax and parameter, just like unsigned character. Nothing new to say for byte. Integer data type. Its keyword is int. It occupies 2 bytes of memory and it encodes number from this negative value to this value. And as example, it may be negative or positive integer number. It will not have any fractional part. It is considered as the primary data type to store numbers. If integer data type's value exceeds by increasing or decreasing, then it will roll back. Let's say it exceeds this value, then it will roll back from this negative value and continue with increasing. Syntax. This is variable name, the value, parameter, variable name, the value to assign to that variable. Example, integer a, here is not assigned any value, and integer b, this b's value is 5. Unsigned integer data type. Its keyword is unsigned int. It stores value up to 2 bytes, and for Arduino Duo it takes unsigned 4 bytes. The difference between unsigned and signed data type is the sign bit. The int type in Arduino is the signed int. Arduino Duo stores the unsigned data value of 4 bytes and range for 2 byte is 0 to this value, and for 4 byte 0 to this value. It stores only positive values. After exceeding its maximum value, it roll back to 0. Syntax. Unsigned integer, this is keyword, need a variable name and a value. Parameter, it require a variable name and the value to assign to that variable. Example, unsigned int, as you already know, this is the keyword of unsigned integer, and this is my variable name, and this is the value. Short data type. Its keyword is short. It is an integer data type that stores 2 byte and its minimum value is negative this and maximum value is this. It can take only integer data. After exceeding its maximum value, it roll back from this negative value. Syntax. This is the keyword, need a variable name and a value. Only 2 parameter we need here, that is variable name and the value to assign to that variable. Example, this is the keyword and this is my variable name and this is the value. Long data type. Its keyword is long. The long data types are considered as the extended size variables which stores 4 byte. Size range from this negative value to this value. It's a huge size. It can take only numeric. While using integer numbers, at least one of numbers should be followed by L, which forces the number to be a long data type. Syntax: the keyword, variable name, and the value. Parameter: we need only two parameters here: variable name, the value to assign to that variable. Example: this is the keyword, this is the variable name, and you see it's a long value, and I've used a L. As I told before, at least one of the numbers should be followed by L, and that L is here. Unsigned long data type, its keyword is unsigned long. The unsigned long data type are also considered as the extended size variables which store 4 bytes. It doesn't store negative numbers like other unsigned data types, which makes their size ranges from 0 to this. See, as it hasn't any negative value like this, so we got here maximum value double, and after exceeding its maximum value, it rolled back to 0. Syntax: this is the keyword, the variable name, and the value. Parameter: here is also two parameters, that is variable name and the value to assign to that variable. Example: this is the keyword and this is the variable name. Current time: later on I'll try to show multitasking in Arduino. That time you will understand about current time. It's need a very long range of value, so the unsigned long is perfect for this type of tasks. Double data type, its keyword is DOUBLE. The double data type is also used for handling the decimal or floating point numbers. It occupies twice as much memory as float. It stores floating point numbers with larger precision and range. It occupies 4 bytes in Atmega and Uno boards, while 8 bytes on Arduino Duo. When occupies a total of 64 bits, then 15 decimal digits of precision. Its approximately minimum and maximum range is, this is minimum and this is maximum. See how huge it is. Syntax: this is the keyword, variable name, and value. Parameter: it has two parameters, variable name and the value to assign to that variable. And finally, example: this is the keyword, this is my variable name, and this is the value. Float data type, its keyword is float. A number having the fractional part and a decimal part is considered as a floating point number. For example, 4.567 is a floating point number. The number 13 is an integer, while 13.0 is a floating point number. Due to their greater resolution, fractional numbers are used to approximate the analog values. The numbers can be as large as this and as small as this. It occupies 4 bytes. We need to add a decimal point to a number, otherwise it will be considered as an integer. For example, 14.0 is considered as a floating number, while 14 is an integer. Syntax: this is the keyword, variable name, and value. Parameter: here is also two parameters, variable name and the value to assign to that variable. And example: This is my keyword, and this is the variable name, and the value is here. Word data type. Its keyword is WORD. It considered as an unsigned number of 16-bit or 2 bytes, and minimum range is 0 and maximum is this value. After exceeding its maximum value, it roll back to 0. Syntax. This is the keyword, variable name, and value. Parameter. It requires two parameters, variable name, the value to assign to that variable. And finally, example. This is the keyword, this is the variable name, and this is the value. Boolean data type. Its keyword is Boolean. It occupies only 1-bit memory. Range is true or false. Any non-zero number that might be negative is considered as true, and zero number evaluates false. Syntax. This is keyword, variable name, and value. Parameter. There are only two parameters, that is variable name and the value to assign to that variable. And finally, example. This is keyword and this is variable name. I didn't define any value here. This was all for today. Take care everyone. Allah Hafiz.